Uh, yeah. So, speaking
Yeah.
of future tech, let's talk about the iPhone 15. I am not an iPhone guy. I've not had an iPhone since the iPhone 3GS. I've been strictly on Androids between Samsung's and then a little bit of Sony, the Xperias. Xperias? I think that's what they were called. Sony Xperia.
Yeah. Sounds right.
So I had like three iterations of the Xperia. Um, and then these foldables actions. So my iPhone and Apple exposure overall is nothing. We actually finally bought an iPad a couple months ago, and my wife is enjoying it. Um, I may go and get a few more iPads. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens if I can get convinced on the iPhone 15, because right now it looks like the only thing that I can tell, just brief glance, and I'll have questions for you, is that the USB-C thing is the major game changer, which is crazy to think that that's the thing, right? Because it's got wireless charging already, right? It's got wireless
Yeah.
charging. The 14 and down, the newer ones all have wireless charging. They all got rid of the auxiliary jack, right? So the
Yeah.
only
It's gone.
so the only external connection is uh the lightning on the 14 and down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, so I don't even know when the auxiliary jack got removed, but just like the Samsungs got rid of the auxiliary jack too. They only have the USB-C.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also got rid of the whole removable battery plate thing because of the whole waterproof crap, or
Oh,
water
okay.
resistance. So I can't even change the
Gotcha.
battery anymore. So with that, they got rid of the expandable memory. I can't put an SD card in these anymore. So now the Samsungs, at least these folding ones, this flip one, is actually more in line with what I see happening over on the iPhones. Because the iPhones, you can't put an SD card in there either, right?
Nope.
Okay, so they're almost becoming the same thing. They've got the little button here, right? If I double click it, I can get the camera up, and they've been doing that for a while, and it sounds like they're doing that now with the Apple, with the little, what was the vibrate thing, or
Mm-hmm.
silent mode, or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so they're starting to line up. Other than the OS, obviously they're still gonna have the Apple OS or iOS. I don't know what it's called now. Is it just iOS 15 or
17 now, I think is what.
iOS 17? So did they ditch the whole Mountain Cat, or was that strictly on the MacBook? The
That's
Mountain
for the that,
Lion
yeah, that's for the
thing.
Mac. That's for the Macs.
Those are for the Macs, because for
Mm-hmm.
Androids they ditched the whole ice cream sandwich, or whatever the hell they were calling them.
Yeah, they were going off on some
Lollipop,
fucking
right?
names.
It was like lollipop,
Yeah.
ice cream sandwich, jelly bean. I don't know what they were
Take you
called,
to the
but
candy shop.
because now it's just Android 13,
Okay.
right? Freaking
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and I think that's the latest one that just got loaded to my phone, was 13, Android 13 or 12 or whatever. It's just okay. We're just gonna do numbers now, like the PS5.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tell me what's new with this. We have a background here. We've got the black one. We got the white one. I think some like mint green looking thing. A highly like a yellow pastel,
Mm-hmm.
like pastel colors.
Yeah. A lot of pastel colors this time around.
Is this the basic iPhone 5 or
Yes.
iPhone 15?
Yeah. So this has kind of been the trend where they have the standard uh 15, then they'll have the plus, which is a larger version of the
Okay.
standard, and then they have two Pro models, which is the standard size 15 Pro, and then the larger size 15 Pro Max. And usually, what'll happen is, or at least this has been the trend, is whatever the new chipset is. So in this one, I think it's the 17 A17 uh, processing chip is going to go in the Pro, and then
Okay.
whatever last year's Pro chip was becomes the next, which is the regular 15's chip. And that's how they also differentiate the Pro versus the standard, is that you'll have the new chipset, obviously, so that you don't get the 17 chip, uh, or the more higher performance chip in the standard, right?
Okay.
Um,
So we're talking about the chips real quick. The
yep.
iPad has the M's or it has the A's as well.
Um, fuck, I honestly can't even remember nowadays because
Because I thought I saw that the iPad regular.
yes, they use M's. They use M's.
Okay.
They do have M's.
Was it last gen that still used an A for the iPad standard? Because I know the iPad mini or Air has the M1.
Right.
And then the iPad regular 10-inch guy is, I think that one had an A something in there. So my question is, do any of these iPhone 15s come with an M chip, and what is the difference between the M's and the A's?
I don't think any of these have the M yet, and I
So
don't
none of them have
really,
M. Okay.
yeah. And honestly, I haven't necessarily really followed what the difference between M and A is, so I can't answer that question.
So then A17 is the high powered one then, right? Because it's going in the Pro.
Well, it might be A17 still in the regular, but the one that's in the Pro is also called the Pro, A17 Pro.
A17 Pro. Okay.
Well, so the biggest thing that they're boasting about this Pro version is the fact, well, at least one of the demos that they gave was the gaming on it, and I think they were showcasing Genshin Impact actually. Was the game they decided to showcase, but
Okay.
sort of this idea that you're able to play these really like immersive games and really high quality games on your phone, you know, which is interesting. I mean, I think they've been doing a pretty good job of uh, mobile gaming for a while now.
Oh yeah.
But now they're just taking it up to another level, I guess,
Do
with
you,
some of the stuff that they were showing. I think actually one of the bigger ones that was interesting is that they had Resident Evil 4 that could be played on this iPhone. That was one of the ones that they were also demoing from Capcom. Um, so I mean, we know that that's a console game. I don't know how different the mobile version is, or what, or if that was a console version, it just so happened to be playing on an iPhone.
so I've played Genshin Impact on my phone, and after I don't know, good amount of time, like 15, 20 minutes, it starts getting hot.
Yeah, I bet you it gets hot.
How have you played any games on your current iPhone, and does it get hot?
Yeah, it gets hot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Anything that's like making the fucking phone work, it gets hot.
It does.
Sometimes I'll watch videos, certain videos. I don't know which ones trigger it, but certain videos will make it get hot too. It's kind of
Okay.
strange.
So since we're talking video, that leads me to my next question: is the resolution on the 15? What is the display? What is the like the hotness about it? Is it the Retina display, or is it something else now, or
Oh God,
is
they
it
got a name.
QLED, OLED,
I know they have a
freaking?
name for it. I can't. I need to go find it. Let me find it really quick if I can find it. I feel like they had a fucking name to it.
I said I don't look at these things, so I don't know how crisp these screens look. How
I swear to
sharp?
God,
What's the
I, s-
resolution?
I swear it's like at one point in the in like the early years, it really mattered. But now it's just like everything is so fucking advanced. It's even hard to tell the difference, man. Like how better is it really though? You know, like it
Yeah,
all looks sharp. I mean, one of the big things was the nits on it, I think at one point, right? We were talking about it, like it's the brightness and the
it's
always on
2000,
mode.
right? You said it was
Yeah.
2000 nits. That is nuts because that Odyssey G9 that we've been looking at,
Oh
that
yeah.
that QLED OLED whatever Samsung Odyssey G9 is 1,000.
Oh, is that right?
That one's 1,000 nits. The 49 incher that I was looking at.
Maybe because you're outside with your phone, so sometimes you need to combat against the bright sun. I don't know. There are
Yeah,
times
that
where,
could be true.
sometimes it gets like direct sun and it's really dark. You can't really see your screen sometimes when it's super bright outside.
I,
Um, I,
hmm,
I can't find the fucking name. I wish I could find it, but I can't find it. But I think another big thing about this version that's different about the previous ones, even though it looks nearly identical, is the titanium, right? So the material has been changed. It used to be the stainless or whatever the fuck metal that they were using before, which actually added a lot of weight to the phone. Because I remember going from the 10 to the 11 or 11 to the 12, it got a lot heavier, and it's been heavier for the last few iterations. I have the 13 right now in my hand, 13 Pro Max. It's pretty weighty for what it is,
okay.
and supposedly the titanium is supposed to be strong and light. So I'd be interested to feel what that's like in my hand. It's got the brushed look to it, which I mean the thing about this really like high polish metal that they're stainless metal that they're using before it scratches so easily, it was easy to like see all those imperfections. But I guess with the brushed one, you probably wouldn't see it that much. And then the button,
Brushed.
like you talked
Okay.
about, yeah. And then the button, like you talked about, the shortcut button, which is cool. I guess you could just run like scripts and stuff like that. Launch your camera, launch your voice recorder, launch the climate control in your car, maybe. Trying to think what else. I mean, the camera is supposed to be really cool, 48 megapixels. The iPhone Pro Max actually has an additional like zoom distance. I think it's like 6 times zoom,
6 times physical zoom, or is it?
physical zoom,
Wow.
not software zoom.
Okay.
5 times. Sorry, here we go. 5 times
Five.
optical zoom. It says 5 times optical zoom.
Oh, they don't even have
Yeah.
the white anymore. Sorry, I went to the website.
Oh, on the Pro, what's considered as white might look a little bit silver, I guess. That's probably the closest color.
So there's different colors between.
There's different colors between regular and Pro. They don't share
Okay,
the same colors. They have their own colors.
got it.
Regular has like 5 colors, right?
That way they
And
know as soon as they see your phone, they're like, "Oh, you got that yeah, yellow. You got that cheap model." Is that what it is?
well, yeah, the color and I think the number of cameras. I think the regular only has 2 cameras.
Oh man, I don't.
Pro has
Okay,
3.
that's kind of
So
messed up.
the third camera also on the Pro is the what is it, the wide angle one, I think. It's got one other one that the other one doesn't have yet.
Yeah, I'm
But
just
yeah,
looking at this thing. It's the
so
same body
Pro.
style, yeah, as that they've had for a while now.
Oh yeah, it's so long. Yeah, it's been the same body style for quite a while now. Supposedly because of the new titanium, the screen is able to go closer to the edge, so it's supposed to kind of look like it's a little bit bigger, even though the actual dimensions of the phone hasn't changed.
Okay.
Um,
So would a old case work on this one?
Probably. I mean, the little shortcut button is identical to that of the flip switch one, so it would occupy the exact same position. I wouldn't see
Okay.
why not.
Cool. Uh, what else did I have down here? Video RAM. Do you know anything about the video RAM or the RAM itself that's on there? Like, I mean,
I
it's got to be pretty good if it's gonna run Assassin's Creed Mirage, right?
It's gotta be 6-core GPU. It says.
6 core. Okay. It's got its own
Yeah,
GPU, like a separate GPU on it versus and not just the A17. Like it's not integrated.
it says A17 Pro
Uh huh.
chip with a 6-core GPU. Yeah, so that is the one. It is on that chip.
Okay, so the A17 is the GPU
Yeah, and
or
so
GP or chip.
yeah, in
Okay.
comparison to the regular 15, which has the A16, is only a 5-core.
Odd number. Okay.
Pro gets your 48 megapixel camera with a three times for the regular Pro, 5 times for the Pro Max. And then on the other regular 15, it's only a 2 times. So
Okay.
those camera people out there, if they want the best, then they're gonna have to get Pro Max. 29
Okay.
hours of video playback, 26 hours on the other one, probably because of the size.
So with the hours, that's the battery. Then you're talking about is what's doing it, or is it more efficient, or both?
It's both.
Okay.
Supposedly the chip is more efficient now too.
Wait a second.
Or actually, it might actually be a little bit thinner now that I think about it. Maybe your cases won't fucking fit on that bitch.
75% recycled aluminum.
Oh yeah, that's another big thing that Apple was boasting on their last keynote was they're trying to be like
More green.
100% green by 2030 is what they
Sustainable.
said. Yeah. So now they're just using all a bunch of recycled parts and stuff.
It'll be interesting to see. It's and just like the EVs, how sustainable things are when it comes to the batteries.
Yeah, I know.
That's the real make or break point, I think, when it comes to sustainability. Um, okay, I'm looking at these pros now here.
Yeah, so you got black, the more like
Space gray or
tan,
whatever they call it.
yeah, tannish color, which is meant to represent just the standard titanium color itself,
Okay.
just a raw titanium color. And then there's like the lighter white or silverish one, and then there's the dark blue color.
Ah, okay. The Pro has a titanium. The regular one doesn't.
It doesn't know.
Interesting.
But I think the regular one is just plastic, is it not? Oh no, it's just glass. I think it's just glass.
Oh, it said aluminum on it or
Oh,
whatever.
okay. Does
I
have it?
mean,
Okay.
shit, 75% recycled aluminum. I'm assuming it's
Aluminum.
somewhere in there.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm on the Pro page. Let me see if this generates any thoughts in my head. So I know now because you mentioned the other day about the pill at the top of the screen.
Oh yeah, the island.
Okay, so I
Hmm.
know what you're talking about now. I didn't know it was that big.
Oh yeah. It's a big black spot right there on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that they still allow you to see that little crevice right there in between between the black edge and the pill itself. Like, what's that little bit gonna really
Oh
do?
yeah,
I
what's
don't
that?
know.
What's the difference there?
Yeah, because on mine mine's not a pill. Mine's black that just goes all the way up. So it is black all the way through. You know.
So I've seen them do that on the Galaxies as well, and it does it
Hmm.
on mine too, on the Fold,
Hmm.
um, where you can see just a little bit
Hmm.
because instead of a pill, it's just a circle for the camera, and that's
Oh
it,
right, yeah,
dead center
yeah,
in that
in
spot.
that spot. Yeah.
Okay, so we got the blue titanium. the white titanium.
Hmm.
All right, the black and neutral, right? The neutral is the one that's just titanium.
Just
Like
raw
titanium's
titanium color. It's natural
got it.
color, I guess. Yeah,
Where's the red? I thought I saw a red one.
that was
Oh,
the regular 15.
okay. Because I thought I saw some special edition, like only one type store has it, like AT&T or T-Mobile or whatever.
Oh
Didn't
yeah,
they do that in the past?
they did. I mean, anytime Apple comes out with anything that's red, they call it product red. And the reason why they call it product red is because it's almost like a charitable thing that they do. So anybody that purchases any product red product, they go and do some charitable donation to, I think it's somewhere in Africa actually, to combat against something. I forgot already. I
Oh,
need to go look it up. Or HIV and AIDS. There you go. HIV and AIDS programs. That's what product
okay.
red is for.
So I'm looking at this thing. It yes, they're showing Genshin Impact here.
Yep,
Um,
showcasing the Genshin.
how how would one go from Android to Apple? What carries over? Obviously, the store specific ones don't, right? But if I
Mm,
have Google Play and I'm playing Marvel Snap, right? I can log into my computer and play the Steam version of Marvel Snap, and it uses my Google ID or whatever to sync up the data on the cloud.
mm, mm-hmm.
Are you able to use the Google Play stuff on like the data that's there on Apple for the
I
same game?
I can't confirm it because I haven't done it myself, but you can log in with your Google credentials on an iPhone.
Okay.
Like it's part of the accounts that can be added to the phone.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming if you're able to do that, and then when you go to launch the game, obviously you're going to be downloading from the Apple Store App Store now.
Mm-hmm.
You could download the app, and I assume at the point at which you would log in, you would choose to log in with your Google credentials, and hopefully then you'd be able to pick up from where you left off. I know, I know they've been doing a lot of phone like phone transfer stuff to make things easier when people are switching. Um, I just haven't done it. I've always done iPhone to iPhone. They got it to the point now where you just put your two phones next to each other and it just transfers everything over. Like that's how you go from one iPhone to the next. You could either do that or you could just log in with your Apple ID whatever and then it just everything's been backed up to the cloud so it's just downloading things over. But otherwise it'd just do like a side by side. I feel like I saw it the other way cuz Sam got a Samsung and she went from iPhone to Samsung and they have a setup where it's like, oh, if you're coming from your iPhone and you're going to your Samsung, here you just do this and it just does stuff,
Huh.
transfers.
So I know that when we've upgraded the Samsungs, it will ask us because we'll download the app on the new one, and then it'll
Hmm.
ask us what phone are you coming from? Is it iOS
Oh,
or
okay,
is it Android?
there you go.
So there's some compatibility there. I just don't know what it is or how that works.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, 5 times optical zoom. I'm looking at this right now. It's 120 millimeter of pure pro zoom. Crazy. Action button, gigablast or gigabits, whatever the hell that means. 20 times faster file transfer speed. How often do you hook up your iPhone to your computer
It's not that often, honestly. And,
no
and when I do, it's just for the convenience for charging
for
while
charging?
I'm at my desk or something, like, oh, I'll plug it in to charge just because I haven't set up my wireless setup yet.
So are you able to use the iPhone as a webcam?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah, I just haven't done it.
Because
I
obviously it
know,
has
I know.
a good camera, right?
Oh yeah,
So
definitely. Even the front one, yeah. Even the front one has a good camera.
and the and so this is making me think right now. Like I know there's the portrait mode and it has that blur effect.
Oh yeah,
Is that software AI done or is that because of the lenses?
I think it's a combination of both. And I think it's more so on software though. And the
It's
reason why
software
I know
based.
that,
Okay.
and the reason why I know that is because that was actually part of the talking point to the iPhone Pro series, was that um, what it does is for every picture that's taken, it keeps that information so that later on, if you want to change a regular shot into a portrait, you can after the fact.
Ah,
Before, yeah, before you had to already be in portrait to get the shot you wanted. Now you don't. You could take regular shots and then you're like, oh, fuck, I wish I did that in portrait. Well, guess what? You can. You just choose it and now it'll do whatever it needs to do.
interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if I can, and I still have yet to try it on this one. If
Hmm.
I put it up here, well, put it on a mount, whatever I do, hook it up, will it come out like a nice crisp webcam to the
All
point
right.
where I could just get rid of this one? And I mean, this is old. This is back 2016. This
Hmm.
camera, it's got age on it, and it doesn't have any of the um what's it called? I remember Cow Frog call there's a name for it. The blur effect. The
The bokeh.
but yeah, that now I wonder if you are able to do that, whether it be software or otherwise, with the
Mm,
iPhone as a webcam.
I have a
Um,
feeling. I have a feeling you can.
Look at this. 29 hours of video. Emergencies. 100% recycled aluminum. The
Oh, there
internal
you go.
structural frame of the iPhone 15 Pro, 100% recycled aluminum.
The green phone. Yeah, and you
And
got that USB 3.0 speeds with this USB-C now too on the Pro ones at least, not on the regular ones. They have 2.0.
3 3.0.
I think that's what they said.
Hopefully it's higher because the new standard is higher than that now.
What is the new standard?
I think they have 3.2. I could be wrong. It's at least 3.1 now.
Oh,
But for even faster like charging, because I know the S22 I have has a different has an even higher level of charging called super fast.
mm.
But when I throw this one on the charger, it'll say just fast charging. But I take that same charger and put it on that one, it'll say super fast.
Uh,
Um,
okay.
and like it is quick. I go from I don't know 20 to 100 in like 15 minutes.
Oh,
So
yep, here it is, 3.2, bro.
3.2. Okay,
Yep. Yep.
sweet.
Pro and Pro Max support fast USB 3.2 Gen 2 speeds, up to 10 gigabits per second when using an optional USB 3 cable. So I guess it doesn't come with the 3 USB cable. Guess I'll
So
go get a
here's the
different.
thing. So I just bought some of these newer cables, and they actually have a
Yeah.
chip. There's a chip in the connector,
Oh, okay.
and my work laptop, when I used my other cables, my other USB to USB, it said it wasn't getting enough juice.
Power. Yeah.
I
I've
threw
noticed
this
that.
one on there, boom, it started charging it.
I know I've noticed that too. This new keyboard that I got, it's very particular about what cable gets used. Like some of the functions won't even work because it's not getting enough power. so I need like a heavy duty cable.
Yeah.
I never really thought about it that way. Just figured, oh, you just get USB-C, just get USB-C. It works, it plugs in. But no, there's even more to it nowadays. Same thing with the fucking display ports and all that shit, right? There's a different
Yes.
version, or HDMI and all this, right? Like
HDMI.
all that stuff
Yeah.
is different now, right? You just can't buy a regular one.
Nope.
There's all these different levels.
Of course. I mean, technology. This is how it
Levels to
works.
this shit. Yeah, levels to this shit.
So then, other than the camera and the screen size, Pro and Pro Max, that's it. That's the difference.
That zoom, you get that extra zoom on the Max.
Yeah, camera. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
but performance wise, it's the same.
It's the same. You're probably gonna get a little bit more battery life out of the Max just as a mere fact it's bigger. It's got a bigger battery in it
Okay.
too, right? Um, I've only ever gotten Max ever since they started doing this whole regular and Max. I'm just used to the size already, the 6.7 or whatever this is. Yeah, this is just sort of the normal size for me now.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it. I'm just waiting for probably one more final payment on one of my lines, and I'll ditch that one and get a 15.
Well, we will see. Only time will tell if you guys will see me with the blue bubbles or whatever the color is.
Blue bubbles.
Is it blue bubbles? I don't know what that is. Blue bubbles, green bubbles.
What the fuck is that?
When you text iMessage, text message.
Oh,
The hell is it called?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. That's
Is it
right.
blue?
Yeah, blue versus green. Green is SMS, and blue is fucking iMessage.
Hmm.
Yep. iMessage, they're editable, so if you fuck up, you can go back and fix it.
Ah. Blah. Blah.
Lord knows I fuck up all the time on regular SMS, and I can't turn back.
You might as well just get Slack. Just go in
Yeah.
Slack and then just edit it up. Oh, okay. So any final thoughts on the iPhone 15 other than the fact that you are going to go and get that Max and upgrade?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is usually it's a little bit harder to just always get the next one every year, just because the changes are marginal.
Oh, of
So
course.
one of the biggest things last year, I think, was the satellite phone stuff, the pill, the island thing, and I didn't end up getting the 14. Um, so for me, going from 13 to 15, at least I'll be able to take advantage of some of those things that I didn't get because I passed on the 14. And then now I'd be able to take advantage of the titanium part of it too, which is great because I do feel like the phone has gotten a lot heavier in the last few iterations. So I'm happy to go back to a lighter build, and now it's more sustainable too. So yay!
Nice. I've got more questions about the Apple ecosystem uh, for next time. Mainly how the iOS works, but it'll be good to have you and Generic and Cowfrog on the podcast for that, so that we can cover all different angles. I know
For
Cowfrog
sure.
likes the camera stuff, right? He's a Max person too, right?
He's got a 14.
He's got 14.
Yeah,
Um, and then I know Generic. He's got the kids and locking them down on the parental controls and stuff like that. I'm curious to
pretty sure
see how that works.
he's on a 14 also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We shall see whether I end up getting a brand new Fold, Samsung Galaxy Fold 5 or 6, whatever they're on now, or if we'll have a iPhone 15 in hand, because yeah, guess what? The number 15. It's one of my numbers.
Wait a second. Fold is the book one, right?
The book one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I'm not going to the new one
You're
of
not going to
this
go
one.
back to flip. You're
I'm
not
not
going
doing the
back to
flip
flip.
one anymore because of the fact that I can't hook this up to a
That's right.
screen.
That's
If I
right.
can't hook this up, and I learned that the hard way, my last one, which was a Galaxy S9, I think, was the one before this.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been a 7. Not sure. But I could hook up to the TV and then it was basically desktop mode. I could put a mouse
Mm-hmm.
keyboard and then it had like it looked like Windows. So, it had a
That's cool.
Linux type UI or whatever,
Yeah,
desktop, all of it. This one does not. You hook this up to a TV, it says fuck you. Um,
I see.
and they reserved that for the book one. The new one, the Fold 5, even though it has the internals of the new S23, which this is a 22, the flagship is the S22 or S23 Ultra or whatever. The Fold 5 has the same internals, except it doesn't let you do that. It doesn't let you hook it up to the TV still.
Hmm.
I don't know why, because then they're like, well, if you want to do that, you get the fold one and then you fold it in half,
Yeah,
right? And then you can
they
use
gotta.
it as a keyboard,
Yeah,
right? On the
they gotta.
TV. That's your
Those
power
fuck
user one.
those fucking gimmicks, man. They gotta come out with their gimmicks, and they gotta do their software locks on different things and whatnot.
Yeah, so there's the
How it is.
feature rich portion of it. And
Yeah,
I'm also curious to see how this new iPhone works. I mean, obviously it's high power. Uh, would I
yeah.
end up getting a backbone for it? We'll see. I don't know. I got a Steam Deck already. I don't need no shit.
I mean, part of the reason why I like this was simplicity. When I had the Androids before, I was getting really into the weeds of the customization and this and that, which was what I liked about it, right? And that was one of the things that people didn't like about iOS is you couldn't have all the fancy doodads. They're opening up a little bit more. There are widgets and stuff like that on iOS now. You've got little clocks, you've got little like counters and graphs and shit that you can actually place onto the screen. I mean, it's still not to the level at which that you can customize like on Android, but at least there's a little bit of something there now. So, um, but I again, a lot of the things that draw me to certain products is because of the ecosystem or the infrastructure that they have, and iOS has just been really good to me, I'd say. So I keep using it.
Nope. Well, that is it for us today, everyone. We'll be back again next week to talk about more random stuff in tech and gaming. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the chat that came by. We had some newcomers. So yeah, until next time, be well.
Or be fucked.
You are fined 1 credit for